So did you say you don't want it? No.
Unit that's
Oh
coming.
God, yeah.
And the other's just a stick-on piece of mirror. So I might send that one back. Depending who gets here first, we'll see.
I must say that I'm really liking the updates to OBS. Really liking them. So now,
start using it.
So now, on your on your capture for your camera, it has green dashed lines where I've cropped it in, but it also shows the big red outline as well. That is the main window. And now you can sound capture separate applications. So I can sound capture Spotify, that I can adjust its volume up and down however I want, you know, because it's just capturing that application and nothing else. Really worth the update. If anybody's thinking about it.
I'm thinking about going across to OBS Studio because Streamlabs keeps resetting all my sound settings randomly.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I did Streamlabs for a long time, then came over to OBS, and he does get a lot more control as well, I think, over everything. And I wouldn't move away. You know, it's permanently there. Hello and welcome back, everyone. Just to remind you, Mr. Pickles isn't just sat still very still for the rest of the adventure. Internet problems, so we've got the wonderful Muscle Pickles standing in for today, who will be doing all the rolling, etc. I should make a token that says Muscle Pickles, so you could actually use it in the drop down, you know, so you can actually roll like him as well. So the party, we're going to be playing Mythras, a fancy role-playing game set in the Odes campaign. Mythras is a percentile dice system based on skills. It has no classes or anything like that. It's purely create what you want and live how you want. And the party are currently north of their starting town, well, probably a little bit northeast of their starting town, which was Lindo. They're now in a smaller village called Windvine. And they have been doing several things at Windvine on their current campaign, their current adventure. But before I tell you any more about that, I'm going to allow the players an opportunity for them to introduce who they are and who they will be playing tonight. And as always, we start with Muscle Pickles. Go for it.
I am Mr. Pickles, and I'm playing Muscle Pickles, playing Bartleby Fumus tonight. He is our team's theist, bringing down that divine magic from his goddess Amriel. A lot of the players, or a lot of the characters, I should say, often come to him for advice or to discuss ideas because he has a lot of lore skills. And so everybody wants to see, hey, do you have anything to add to my brilliant plan? And I say, maybe. Bartleby also has a lot of the spells that helps the party. He has spells that heal, get rid of disease, poison, gives energy, helps people from not passing out, puts arms back on, you know, the casual good guy things. I think everybody feels comfortable insulting Bartleby or playing around with his faith because, of course, he has no real ability to fight back. He does have some stun spells, but he's not going to beat you over the head with an axe just because you insulted him. It's pretty easygoing, but he can be pushy about certain things, makes friends with lots of people. He's a friend of the guards. He's a savior of the slums, and that's Bartleby Fumus. I'm going to pass the mic on over to Medivac.
Why, thank you, Mr. Bartleby. I'm Medivac and I play Hasra Khan. He's a nomad from the northern steppes of Odes. He's travelled down to Lindo to join this merry band of men to solve problems, to help people, and to keep the world safe. He's a member of the Brotherhood who constantly, throughout centuries and centuries, has been keeping track of biomes and what changes and trying to maintain a delicate balance of what's happening and make sure things stay on the right path, in a sense. He's so at home outside in the wilderness. He's a tracker, a forager. He's starting to become a pretty good cook as well. He a selfless protector, I like to call him that, because he has a habit of dying to protect his friends. He also has a habit of throwing his spear into combat, but that's another story. But so far, touch wood, he hasn't hit a friend.
That is true.
Yes, he's hit potential friends, but not a friend.
Not an established friend.
No. He likes to fight with his spear and his scimitar. He's very agile, quite tall as well. He's in his mid-20s now. So, yes. And with that, I shall pass on to Max.
That's a little weird of a way to say Captain Kangaroo.
Yeah, we were building it up.
It's an interesting way. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, we were building it up. For me, okay. I'm Max. I play Rohan, a rogue from the streets of Lindo, who's a little bit of an opportunist and has found himself way over his head after joining the party, having to save the world on his first really big outing. And it hasn't been going well for him so far. He's been getting a little bit tortured, a little.
He did very well with the Harpies in the first adventure, if I remember.
That was pure luck. And then everything else has been a little bit of a torture.
Well, you'll soon get your skills up, don't worry. It will happen.
Yeah.
Unless you die.
But I'm gonna pass it to our very talkative short man, Captain Kangaroo.
Everybody, I'm Captain Kangaroo. Similar to Hasra, I'm playing Cyrus. He's a very self protector. He's kind of the magic user, the real magic user, the one that's the spells actually make sense and do actually function of some sort. He's the guy you would go to if you want things actually done. In comparison, just like instead of just talking and then accepting money as a religious bribe. But if you feel like magic wasn't the way you want to do things, he's also able to handle himself, with the martial arts, with the ability to kick butt with a long shaft like glaive, and I guess I think we went with a rapier, a rapier,
Yeah.
A rapier that is his other weapon now, and it's gonna look really cool once he busts it out one time. Maybe this, I don't know, we'll figure out. Maybe this is the time we bust it out. And everyone's like, whoa, that's a crazy flaming sword. Yeah, I know it's going to bring the whole crowd down. But from there, I'm going to pass the mic to our GM.
Back to me. Thank you very much. Just to let you know that if you would like to support the players, then you can do so by giving them luck rolls. So a luck point allows them to change a dice roll or save themselves from instant death. They have some that they are very precious of for the whole adventure, mainly because of this save from death opportunity that they can use them for. But you could also give them luck points. So if you donate either £1 British sterling pound or 100 bitties, then you can let us know who you would like to give the luck roll to, whether or not it's one of the players or to me as the GM. Also, party, remember, Hasra, you will have, it's September, so you have 2 of your group luck rolls. I think that's what you're going to use them as.
Yes. Well, thank you.
Yeah, so you've got, as a group, you've got 2 luck rolls as well. So yeah, keep an eye on what's happening in the game, and if you do want to support your favorite character or me, then yeah, feel free to donate. So the party are on a quest to save Windvine from a harpy queen called Chehelia. She has sent her acolytes to Windvine. Windvine has lost children to the Harpy Queen, and they also have to set out offerings every evening for Harpies to come down and collect. So basically, Windvine was firmly under the thumb of the Harpy Queen. However, the party have changed that, and they are working towards finding the Harpy Queen and then hopefully banishing her back to whence she came, or maybe even possibly to kill her. They have journeyed from Windvine out to the coast when they have met a soothsayer called Matilda. Matilda, as well as giving them fish stew, also gave them some lyrics of a ballad, a verse from a ballad that is meant to house some information and some possible clues to how to defeat the Harpy Queen. And she also gave the party a shell-encrusted hilt of a dagger that seems to be the weapon that can either kill or banish her. On the way back, they needed to figure out where the temple was, and that lay with a wizard, a blue sorcerer, who crashed his boat off the shore of Windvine on a sandbank, which is now protected by a monster called Death Pincer, which is actually a giant crab. So the party headed back to Windvine, and on the way through the wilderness, they seem to be being stalked by something sat just outside the firelight in the darkness, red eyes glowing, and it followed them right the way back up to Windvine. As they appeared in Windvine, they saw a mound of dead cattle that had seemed to be dumped outside the limits of Windvine, and they proceeded into the tavern where they stay. There, Bartleby found that his trusty acolytes were spending the church's money on alcohol and ladies. Rohan seemed to be followed by two individuals that disappeared shortly after they were trying to track them down. And Cyrus and Hasra reinterrogated the bard, Zach the Bard, on things that they wanted to know about the legend of the Harpy Queen. And that's where we left it, I think. And at that point, you all had a discussion in Discord. And yeah, I think I'll pass over to Bartleby to start off the discussion, since you started it off in Discord.
Yeah, it would be like in the evening, like I've just sent my acolytes, Tucker and Dale, off to go sleep wherever they're sleeping, because I told them they'd be needing to work in the morning. That was a ruse. I have no plans for them.
They're probably sleeping in the brothel, right?
It doesn't matter to me. They're investing in the community.
What were their names, sorry?
I don't think it was Tucker and Dale, but that's what I'm going with because I didn't write it down.
Was it
I think
not?
one of them was Sam.
Was it not Sam and Decker?
Yes, it was Sam and Decker, or Tucker and Dale. It's
Yeah.
Is that a brand of tools?
What? Black and Decker.
Oh,
That's.
all right.
I did in the Roll20 before we started. I did write. Does anybody know who Sam and Decker are? Because I had them written down, but now
You put Sam Decker. And
yeah, because that's
Shadowrun.
yeah. Well, yeah, I had it written like that, and I'm thinking, did we call somebody Sam Decker? You know why? But now I know it's your acolytes' names. Yeah, carry on, Mr. Pickles.
Yeah, so it's after I've sent them off, and Bartleby would round everybody up to discuss some plans, and presuming everybody is all gathered around a table or perhaps in one of our rooms, like a lamp lit so we can still see. Look, I know that we were planning to go after the sorcerer's favor tomorrow, but I've been getting very concerned about this shadowy thing that you saw, Hasra, and I don't know. I think we should maybe tackle that issue now rather than let it be around. Because if it's a spy, perhaps I can just call upon my goddess to say, no, you're not real, be gone.
Mm.
And if it's not something like that, if it's maybe like how Cyrus can turn into weird things and then fly away when any problems hit him, maybe we could just use this to see if it's somebody in disguise, or if it's some sort of investment of a goddess's minions, we could destroy their assets.
I agree, Bartleby, because downstairs in the tavern, I must admit, I was carried away with Cyrus's enthusiasm about going out and getting the crab beast, because it would be a worthy fight. It would be a very good fight. But then, when we calmed down, I was thinking about the mound of dead animals in the town, and this beast that's roaming around outside. And if we leave to kill this crab, who is going to protect the village with this monster, this huge stalking beast through
That's
the
the
night?
thing. It's been stalking us.
It is no secret that my number one enemy in life is crabs. I have to deal with taking crabs out of everything. Clothing, all that.
To heal?
We'll go with, maybe we'll figure that one out later. But so, what is this like shadowy figure you're talking about? What is this? I'm sorry. I've been drinking all night, and I don't remember a thing anyone said.
Do you not remember when we were coming back from Matilda's, and through our watch there was something moving around the camp, and it was just off from the distance, but it seemed to be like a huge hound type creature, big, and we always saw, I think, was a shadow and glowing eyes, but it kept up with us all the way.
So we're stopping the momentum of our journey to go find a lost dog.
A lost dog that tore apart several times. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Cyrus,
Interesting. Okay.
We know that this is something that the minions of the Harpy Queen can do. They can turn into animals. This shouldn't be surprising to you, that if they have people turning into animals coming after us, that might pose a problem. And here's what I'm saying. Hasra, you're the only one who's seen this beast anyways, and it's always been at night. I say we do this now. Tonight, we go out, we find this thing, we destroy it, or dismiss it, or take the power away from this shapeshifter and interrogate them after somebody hits them in the head twice.
Yes, I do kind of agree, but how much has Cyrus had to drink?
I'm sure I can help with getting poisons out of his body. It's just...
Wait, hold on, stop. You could do this the entire time?
Yeah, of course.
You could cure my hangover this entire time I've known you.
Oh, no, hangovers, easy. I've always been able to do that. That's like a flick of the wrist.
I've been wondering why the hell I have you around, and you can do this the entire time?
I thought eventually you might realize that you could just drink less.
I've been essentially healing my hangover with more alcohol. You could just, with a flick of a hand, finally some use to your stupid goddess.
Yeah, well, when you say that kind of thing, it makes her not really responsible for helping.
I don't know.
I mean, when you interrupt my praise be to Amriel prayer of bring out the hangover from your flesh, you're the one interrupting and saying praise who?
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
Yeah,
Amatites or whatever her name is.
Regardless, we need to do this tonight, and the crab's going to stay there. Who else is going to be going out there? We can do a late trip to that tomorrow.
Honestly,
this is even an easy situation.
You don't have to tell me. I know for a fact that crabs, it's so hard to get rid of them. So yeah, they're always there. All right, fine. We'll murder this puppy.
Okay, so then we need a plan.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
How are we going to lure it out, and what are we going to do in the situations that I guess could be possible?
Well, maybe perhaps we set a campfire outside the town, and lay traps around it, or set up fake. What, one person in the campfire and the rest of the tribe maybe in waiting.
I think that's called bait.
I mean, that's
Yes.
Who are you proposing to have as bait?
Well, normally it's the newest member of the party. I think.
That's typically, yeah. They have, the less HP.
Whoa! Don't look at me.
Should we stake him out like we did the last one? No.
All right. I think, yeah, I think I can do this. So, we track the animal through the fire. When the animal shows up, I extinguish the fire and then try to suffocate it with the smoke of the fire.
Oh, with your smother spell.
With my smother spell. And then I'll make sure that we all, I decked us out with our damage resist and our spell resistance, so that way we're all ready for a fight if it comes up. And then bam, Bob's your uncle.
And maybe then
Robert.
if that does not work, then Amriel, the light guiders, could perhaps send this unworthy thing back to whence it came.
I mean, I thought that was actually what we were going to do first, is if I can get my sights on it, if I can dismiss it, then that should change everything for us. If this is some sort of summoned apparition from their strange sorcerous magics, then bam, it's gone. And that would be that. Perhaps an investment, perhaps just they know we know that they're watching us. If it's a shapeshifter, they will be in their original form at that point rather than a monstrous form. I feel that we should call on Amriel here first. And once the situation changes.
I did not know that Amriel could do the thing where it changes a shapeshifter back into its form.
She can deny anything that is unnatural. It's the guiding light of the moon, a distillation of the purity of the sun.
So just to remind you of certain things, the beast never approached the fire ever.
No.
If anything, it kept out of the fire light. So even though Cyrus might make fantastic bait, it in the past, Hasra was aware of this, it never actually came into the firelight.
Which is why I'm suggesting have the fire and then we sit away from the fire.
Yeah.
As to,
and that would,
in the dark.
Yeah, and that would mean that you would be in darkness.
And I think of everybody here, Hasra, Rohan, you're probably the two best at dealing with darkness situations, and Cyrus and I might be the most, I don't know, visibly loud.
Perhaps maybe once we have found the beast, when it is close, we can have Cyrus light up the sky with his fire.
Sexy. I like that.
That would be a good idea, because if you're fighting in the dark, then your rolls are not going to be, they're going to be challenging, especially if it's a cloudy night and Amriel is not in the sky.
Sorry, what's her value? No.
He's always with us. Come on.
Okay.
So is the plan just to sort of like toddle off into the wilderness and create a fire, and then some of you hide somewhere else, bait the fire, somebody at the fire as bait, and hope that the beast turns up and then light up the sky? Is that the idea? And then...
Hasra's thoughts are that the fact that this thing found us when we went to Matilda's. So
on the way back,
yeah. So the crows must have been showing it the way.
Yeah, so
pinpointing, so it was able to come from the town to there. So it knows we're in the town now, and I'm going to assume that there's going to be something out there watching us anyway. So if we go out, then this thing is going to follow us.
I'm just putting on my poker face.
And the thing is, we're not going to sneak out of town either. We want to say we go to the landlord and tell them
We
that
are leaving town.
We are leaving now. We are not coming back for a while.
We
We
do not
may
want to
be
pay
months
these
from days.
major rent prices, so we're going to sleep outside.
Actually, that gave me an idea. So we
That gave Bartleby an idea.
Oh, no. Okay, so we know it's after us, and it's actually pretty late at night. No offense, Hasra, it might be a weird thing to be stumbling around in the darkness trying to find firewood or something to make a campfire, and it's kind of something you do at like sunset-ish time, in my experience with you. But maybe we should
Yes.
do a test tonight and have Cyrus argue with me loudly out in the streets about things that he doesn't understand, and then have Hasra, Rohan, you guys follow around, perhaps on rooftops, perhaps in alleyways, keep an eye out. And if that doesn't work at drawing the beast somewhere in the late of night, then perhaps we try going out in the wilderness the next day.
Well,
I don't mind yelling at you.
I don't think the beast will be in the city, unless it's like unless it's one of these changeling things.
We can try just the outskirts of the city, just like right on the edge there.
Yeah, because this isn't that big of a town. Windvine is.
It's not at all. Yeah,
I think
right.
if we were at the edge of town doing this, perhaps we might be able to. I mean, I have a lantern. It's on my backpack here. We use that, draw the attention, and then somehow figure out. Like once you see it, then we can call upon our respective magics.
I think I do believe Bartleby we may be overthinking this, but
Yeah,
it is a good idea. I think that. But I think if we go now and leave with some aplomb, some noise, and say we have found some, maybe say to the barkeep, we have found some important information. We shall go and have a look at it, or something like that. And then we can go to the mines.
I think I have an idea of how I could make some noise as we're leaving. But you're right. We shouldn't be overthinking things. We need to make haste with the time we have. We should go now.
Yes.
Unless Rohan, you have anything?
How about maybe I, pretend to stumble around in the darkness, and you guys just be a ways behind me, and I'll just, act like I'm lost. Be the bait.
If you want to be the bait, you can be the bait, I guess.
I am okay with the new guy being the bait.
Well, Rohan, it's very brave of you to do this, but I think this beast is watching us. It's not going to attack you, I don't think. Because when it was following us through the wilderness back to here, it stayed around the camp. It did not come in. It could have killed many of you before I would have killed it, but it hasn't. It's been watching, and it's like a spy.
Well, maybe it'll, take the opportunity when there's just a single person in the darkness.
Well, Rohan, honestly, I think puppies are allergic to daggers in the face. So if worst case scenario, just grab your daggers, throw them at it, and then you're probably good. Yeah.
What? Are you all on the? Can you all see darkness at the moment?
Darkness.
It is
my old friend.
Can you see the campfire?
Yes.
Yes.
A weird square that's askew.
No.
That I can highlight. Rectangle, I should say.
The answer is no.
You should see a little.
On my end, I can.
A campfire.
I can't
here.
see it on my end. All I see is darkness.
Darkness too.
My old friend. Sorry, I'm just going to sing that song.
Yep, I only see darkness. I can see things that I can move apparently, but I can only see darkness.
And what about Mr. Pickles? What can you see? He gone?
I should be gone. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
We can
Yeah,
hear
I
you.
only see darkness.
You only see. Oh, hang on. Let me correct
And I
that.
don't have blind sight.
No, I know why. Bartleby, I'm going to give you're going to receive the power of Amriel.
Yes. Yes.
Hang on a minute.
That's what I've always
In
wanted.
3, 2, 1. Now.
Glory. I can see.
It is
It's a miracle.
darkness permanently for me, though.
No, yours is coming any second.
Oh, there we go. Oh my god, I
There
can
you
see.
go. So I've just
I've only got 30 foot of light, but I need 30 foot of dim.
So I've done that to allow you to see. That would be the extent. That's 3 meters worth of campfire darkness, light in the middle of the darkness. So that's where you would see. They're probably a little bit further, but that would essentially be it. So if you were away from that campfire, then obviously it would be really difficult to hit things, but I will let you get your night vision, if that makes sense to you, you know, so that will reduce the difficulty. But if any of you, while you're in the darkness, did look back at the light, then of course that would be ruined. But just to give you... Yeah, go
So I was
for
going
it.
to say, the one thing you'll notice about Hasra, he's not looking at the fire, he's looking outwards anyway.
Yeah, so it's whether or not I wanted you to be aware as a party what it would look like with your plan. I've still got Brutus on here. I take it that you're not taking him.
No, he'll be back at...
Okay, so is the plan therefore to go out tonight? Or is the plan to gain more information, see if the beast leaves any tracks, and then go out? What's going to be your final? I mean, Molly's square sail, if you remember, you've been to see her on the docks.
Yeah.
And she's, you know, as long as she gets paid, and she's happy to do whenever you wish.
Yeah.
That's up to you.
I still think we go with it tonight. Just a quick question. If I was sort of over here,
Yeah.
or over here, I would I still be able to see the reflection of the light from here?
So if you move your character away from the light, you should still see the campfire.
That's brilliant stuff, because the whole thing of what I want to do is literally just lay on the ground and look at the rock that's in the light, and if I see something go past that.
Yeah, so you can see the light, but nobody else can see you.
Yes.
If that makes sense. So, I mean, obviously the stream can, so don't turn on the stream, people, because you'll see where everybody is. And plus, I can turn the light and darkness off. So, yeah, so, you know, there might be a time that... The other thing that I just want you to be aware of is that, so Cyrus, are you staying by the fire?
Yeah.
Okay. Then. And then are the other 3 of you just going off in random directions, or are you staying together? I just don't know how much of a target. I mean, Hasra, you can probably handle yourself, and your perception skill is quite good, isn't it?
Well, what I would suggest is then if maybe yes, if Rohan and Bartleby come with me and lay down in the same place I lay down, so we can see if anything comes between us and the camp.
Yeah. So you're going to keep together. That's the
Yes, I think that would be because I'd be able to point out something that Bartleby wouldn't be able to see.
I think that would be, unless Bartleby or Rohan, you don't want to do that.
I specifically want somebody who sees things better than I can to be like, Bartleby, please point your hand. Dismiss, please.
So the only information you have about this beast that you saw was that Hasra had those red eyes that was glowing, and it looked like a big dog from its stature and its height.
Yeah,
you know,
I've got written here, not natural, large, red glowing eyes.
Exactly, yeah. So it wasn't a little chihuahua. It was something quite formidable from the height of the eyes from the ground. You know, it was quite high up. So just to let you know that any spell casting, whether or not, as long as it's touch, then that's not a problem. Okay, as soon as it goes out of touch, then spell casting that needs targeting will be more difficult if you can't see the opponent. And you know, if you want to do randomly into darkness, then I am more than happy to do that. I just think as the beast crosses the damage resist spell.
Is there anything that we can do to alert Cyrus so he would know to cast a light spell or something similar? Or
would my rack work as essentially as a way to like envelop the area of light?
Your rack spell needs a target. It needs a target to be attached to. What others does that? Because there's isn't there a cantrip of light?
I have ignite.
So we could say, if you wish, that you put say another. You actually build 2 campfires, although it's going to be time pressing. So you actually ignite the bigger one. Does that make sense? That would actually give off more light if you wish.
Can I just say something? And Hasra has been really stupid here. He's seen his friend Cyrus can turn into birds.
Yeah.
So Cyrus, my friend, why don't you just turn into an owl?
Who?
Yes, if you turn into an owl, you can see in nighttime, can you not?
Why do I feel like if I turn an owl, I just like immediately become bait for a guy? Like this instantaneous, like, oh wow, fucking dinner right there on the branch. Yeah, I guess
there is a folk magic spell called light. If anybody has it,
light or ignite.
Light as well. It produces enough light to illuminate an area with a lantern. So it's not massive, but it is.
It's a concentration spell.
Yeah, it is.
So you can't really be dismissing magic while holding a light.
Yeah. Well, here's a way. If I turn into an owl for the, you'd be able to see. I can't really tell you if, unless you guys speak owlish.
You could just scream in owlish, and we'll get the message.
Or maybe turn back to normal while you're in the air. And then when you fall, you make a noise and look at he's there.
Oh, that's our Cyrus dead splat. Oh, perfect. That's our
aim for the dog.
Aim for the dog.
Yeah, do an airstrike. Unless you're not good enough, Cyrus. That's okay if you're not good enough to do that. Like I know you can turn into small birds, but you don't have to be embarrassed if you're not there yet.
Never one to not perform. Okay, all right, we'll do this. I'll turn to a goddamn owl, a great horned owl. All right.
Well,
so I'm all horned up now.
And I was just waiting. Right. Right. I've got an There's your owl.
Yay. Ooh, that's sexy.
There's
an aura around him.
I'm going to hand it over to you, so you will be able to control it.
Ooh.
Right. So you should be able to control it now, can you? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to be flying around and keep an eye out. Hopefully my perception goes up from it, because of my eyes.
Yeah. It would.
And 270-degree, ocular vision. Come on. Right?
So,
No?
You'll be
Yeah.
that murder of crows coming towards you.
Just here to fuck me up.
So I know. So the idea is, so it's after midnight now, so you still got plenty of time before sunrise. So the idea is that you're going to go outside the village. Do you want to be with there's some rocks around, or are you just looking at plain open countryside? Is there a special place that you're looking?
Plain open countryside makes the most sense to me. So that way, there's no way it can hide.
Yeah. Okay then.
Yeah.
So on the map there are boulders, but just ignore them. They're not there. When you move, if I move, you can see. I think you can see the one here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just pretend
soil.
Yeah. How far away from Windvine do you want to be? I'm just the only reason I'm asking is that if something goes wrong and you have to get back to Windvine, how long would it take you to run or walk back to it?
How far was that rotting pile of flesh?
So that was just outside the boundary. So it would probably be about a 10-minute ride on your wagon to get into Windvine from that. So it's as if the villagers took it out to the far boundary of what they would call their own and just dumped it there.
I think double that distance perhaps.
Okay. So about a 20-minute walk, a little bit.
A 10-minute run.
Yeah. Okay. Then for some of you have little legs, so it might take them a little bit longer, but that's cool.
But some of them can fly.
Yeah. So obviously, Cyrus, you're not going to be able to fly continuously around. So I suggest that will you sort of like find some roosting areas and almost like patrol? Would that be the best?
Patrol and make sure I stay as high up as possible, so that way I'm not lunch meat for a giant beast.
Yeah. Okay then. So I'm just going to put your counter on top of that rock there, so you now are the owl. So the next question, if Cyrus is busy flying around, then are you all three of you now going to go and lie down somewhere and leave the campfire unattended, or what's going to be, or is somebody else going to be there? What's going to happen?
I'll stay at the campfire while the other two
hide in the
watch
grass.
out.
Okay.
And yeah,
that's cool. So before you mentioned earlier on something about spells. Are you going to be casting spells on the party before the scene starts? Is that going to be
preferably? Yes, preferably. I would like to. I can feel free to. I can do the rolls, but I want to do damage resist and spell resist, which maybe I can put all into one.
Okay, well, you've got plenty of time, and Bartleby's got plenty of time to cast it, and we'll say that you get out to the area that you're going to create the fire in, etc., and then you cast the spells, and then you go off your own. You then turn into an owl or things like that. So let's start with Cyrus. What spells are you casting on the party?
So there's 3 spells altogether. damage resist and spell resist, which I could probably try to put as one. And then on their weapons, I'm gonna do bypass armor.
Okay, so roll your invocation. Let's have that three times to start off with. It's going to
100.
Yeah, it's going to cast. That's not the issue. I'm just seeing whether or not it costs you half your magic points. So if you get a crit roll, then of course it'll only take half. Yeah, so that's the first one. So that's damage resist. So what? Tell everybody what they've got on their characters now.
All right. Says provides a recipient with a number, so it should be number of equal points to the spell's intensity. So it should be 7 points of armor from damage resist, and I'll do spell resist in a sec. But essentially, that'll be magic attacks. Would be
so that'll be
7 points.
That 7 points damage resist is on all armor locations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, it'll be on them in general. So all their points, all the areas of their body.
Yeah. And remember that
Everything's
Special
fun.
areas. I know. It's great when I have to think ahead and do it, right?
Yeah.
And then bypass armor would be let's see, it pass through armor. The spell allows weapon to trap, ignore number of armor points equal to spell's intensity. So essentially to go against their armor up to 7 points. So if they have 6 armor points, they no longer have armor. If they have 8, they only have 1 armor instead of 8.
So they have 7 points of damage resistance, and how much magic resistance did you say? Sorry,
7
7
as well.
7 and 7. Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
And then bypass armor will allow them to attack up to the person's armor up to 7. All right, I'm going to do invocation a few more times.
So bypass armor, you just need that goes on weapons. So players, you just need to mark or let me know now what weapon it's actually on. So can you see? So you can't sort of like do it on everything. So yours would be on your spear, Hasra. Yeah. What about Bartleby and Rohan?
Well, Bartleby doesn't need
Yeah, I'm
bypass armor.
assuming as I just stand there gently waving my staff around that everybody realizes I've been like talking about my style too, is that Amriel guides me to deflect things, and everybody's probably made a joke at least one point about how that's not a real combat style, but yeah, so
Okay, so what about Rohan? You'll need to elect a weapon that it's attached to.
So for the spell, is it like a specific type of weapon that you're allowed, or
It can be any weapon you want. What it will do is that when you hit, if there's any armor in the location, then it bypasses how much of it?
7.
7 points of it.
Okay. Chain.
You go pop it on your chain. Yeah, nice. And
It doesn't make much sense, but the game allows, I guess.
Yeah, you can pop it. It's still, your chain still does damage, and it would be stopped by armor in any case. Okay, so just roll another 2 sorceress spells, Order of the Phoenix. So that's your spell resist. Okay, now how long are you going to put this on for?
Essentially, I'm doing on the shaping points. I'm pretty much it'd be an hour probably.
Okay, then. So that's going to up your number of shaping points that you a need for that, won't it? So that'd be up to 56 minutes. So that'll be, is that how many? 1, 2. That'll be 4 shaping points for that. Yeah. And what about you don't need range, you don't need magnitude unless you want to put more magnitude on it. That would be harder for me to dispel it if you had more or not.
I don't think that that's smart right now.
Okay, then. So for each spell that you've cast, it'll be 1 your standard magic point, and then 1 to change the amount of time, and you're not changing anything else from that. So it will be 2. Oh, yes. So this is the big thing. Sorry, that's why you're saying to me. So you're also going to increase the number of targets, aren't you?
Yeah.
So on the first one, damage resist will be what, 3? 3 targets?
Yeah. Well, I cast myself too on damage resistance. So spell resistance, damage resistance, I'm also casting myself as well. So
Okay.
4.
So each spell is going to take you 3 magic points. So the first one that your damage resist, that reduces your magic points by 3. Okay. And your next one is the spell resist. That takes you down. That just takes 1 point off. Okay. Because you critted your roll. So you're now 4 magic points down. The bypass armor, roll your bypass armor one now.
Oh baby, come on, don't mess with me now. Come on, let's do it. 1 dose. Yay!
Yeah. So that will take another 3 magic points to take down. So you're 7 magic points down at the moment. And
Delicious.
then you're going to cast your shape change on yourself. Okay. So that will just take 1 more shaping point that to affect the hours. But that will also cast, and that will cost you another 2 magic points.
9
so it's going to be 9 altogether. So just, do you have enough for that?
Yeah, I have 14, so I've got 5.
You got 5 left. Yeah. Okay, then. So roll for your shape change as well.
Ooh, dirty. This is where like, oh no, I messed up.
You're going to cast it. I'm just, yeah.
Oh.
Because you could take minutes to cast it. It's not a problem. I'm just looking to see whether or not it's a crit or fumble. So,
Only 1 crit though. But
yeah.
Hey, that's 1.
Yeah. So otherwise it would have been 11 magic points that you would have taken up. So yeah, you sort of like spend time probably once you get out here. So your hour is from the campsite, I'm assuming, because otherwise it will take off the town, the timing from your spells. And remember that after 56 minutes, after an hour, the spells will naturally wear off. Don't worry, you know when you're going to change back into human, so you can actually land, etc. Bartleby, are you casting anything on anyone?
I don't think I need to.
Okay, that's cool.
And I'm happy to let Cyrus shine. He's a helpful guy.
Okay, so yeah, go for it. Sorry.
I think Rohan is holding up his fingers.
Sorry, I'd like to cast bludgeon on my chain.
Yeah. So just so that would just be or just be a magic point.
A full magic roll, or just a magic point?
Just it will come from your magic points because they deal with everything, but you will roll your folk magic skill. So if you get a crit on it, you don't need to use any magic points.
Okay.
You just do it. So
Cool.
if yeah, so you will lose 1 magic point, and now you've got bludgeon on your chain as well. Yep. So that's now got bludgeon and bypass armor, and then you've got everything damage resist. Okay, so you're going to.
Sorry to interrupt you again.
Yeah.
I actually did think of a spell I wanted.
Okay, go for it.
It's just a simple. I'd like to give a little bit of vision while looking around once we've settled down into our spots.
Okay, yeah. So that's just a folk magic spell, so that'll just reduce you by 1 point. So I've just made you bigger, Cyrus, so I can see you. Hasra, do you want to move your token to roughly where you want to be away from the campfire. So I've got a rough idea. If you ping, hang on, you've gone off me map. Let's zoom out. Got ya. Okay, so I'm going to put Bartleby. You are right next to Hasra.
That's not my leg.
On your route around, you're patrolling, Cyrus. How far away from the campfire do you want to be? What's going to?
I'll circle within like 50 yards of it. I'll circle around, kind of.
Okay, then. So I'm going to say roughly the same distance as Hasra and Bartleby are off on one side. You're sort of like circling round and resting up and keeping an eye out. Okay, then. So everything's set. Rohan, you're by the fire yet?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So you get out there and you make the fire. You make it so it's easy enough to see. You're about 20 minutes walk or quicker run away from the town. Sorry, Hasra, did you need to?
Can Hasra just run back into the camp and go up to Rohan and go, Rohan, can you just hold this big chunk of meat for me?
It is still bleeding.
Sorry.
Very rare.
Okay, so you settle down, and the weather is still quite chilly at night, mainly because you're further north. But Rohan, you have the fire, and of course, Cyrus, you're an owl, so you're quite used to it. And Hasra and Bartleby, you have each other, you know, to sort of like keep you warm. And so,
Hey there, Hasra.
It's better if I get under the rope.
Have you been working out? Wow, your muscles seem so large now.
Now, the interesting thing to remember, and this is when I love you as a party, because obviously I'm going to be communicating to Cyrus, because he's going to be able to see things slightly before you. So, and the reason I like you as a party is because I know you will not meta it or use that information. So there's no need for me to go turn off your headphones or anything like that. We'll just go for it. Okay.
Inbox me.
Yeah. So obviously, Cyrus, you are going to see something first. Okay. And your owl vision picks it up quite clearly. And there's something that's quite disconcerting about it. You're busy patrolling and flying away, and then almost like from nowhere, there's nothing that actually is approaching the fire or anything like that, and you're absolutely completely sure of this. Your owl sight can see in quite a distance, and as you fly around, you notice that at one point there's nothing, and then out of the darkness appears what seems to be a predator. That's probably the best way to describe it to you. And even though, you know, you maintain and you keep your own mental capacity in owl form, or in any form, you do almost like feel the owl brain alert system go off, as if to say, almost like danger, Will Robinson, you know, and you feel that as an owl, he or she would actually fly away from the beast. You're not too sure, but you think it came from out of the ground. It seemed as if it came up from under the ground, although your owl sight shows that there's no hole or anything like that. it's incredibly black. You figure it's some kind of dog or maybe a large cat. It probably would stand, its back would be up to a normal sized person's waist. So it's not a small beast. And the other really strange thing that you can't really put your finger on is that it seems to almost like, it's almost like the center of it is quite real. But as it gets further and further to, down its side and tips off its tail and its haunches and its ear tips, it's almost as if it fades out a bit, as if there's some kind of shimmer there that you're not 100% what it is. At that point, as you see it, you also notice that the beast turns its head and instantly looks at you in owl form. It seemed to come out the ground, wait, sniff a bit, and then almost like go and look up. You're far enough away from it. You can't be attacked by it, but it does seem to track you and know exactly where you are, or indeed maybe who you are. Rohan, you're sat.
Everyone knows me.
You're sat by the fire, and just make a perception check for me, please.
Perception checks. Yay.
Yeah, you're sat there and keeping an eye out. Obviously the fire is in your vision and you can just see round about, and the only thing that you feel or see any different is that you feel that it's a cold night rather than anything else. Hasra and Bartleby, can you make perception checks as well? So Hasra, you make it. Bartleby,
Do a reroll.
Oh yeah.
Take a point of luck off, and here is a
Can it
bad
be?
reroll.
Oh yeah.
Better, but
it's
Jesus.
better, yeah. Bartleby's.
Open your eyes. bro.
Yeah.
Looking at the stars, my eyes are open.
Bartleby is snoring again.
You
The moon's out in my mind.
Hasra, you also pick up the presence of something. It's almost as if it's something unnatural, and you look behind you, and about 20 meters away, you see those two red eyes. It seems to be looking up at the sky at the moment. So has Cyrus, just to let you know, because you're in bird form, it's actually behind Hasra
No, it's not.
and Bartleby, and you see it looking up to the sky. Hasra, what's going to be your... Bartleby is blissfully unaware, as is Rohan.
I'm going to grab Bartleby's arm and try to manipulate him so he's facing
Bartleby says,
the proper way.
Bartleby says, that is not my arm. Sorry, I just had to pop it in. Yeah.
Just between you and me, Hasra. Nobody else will know about that this happened.
So yes, Hasra, what are you saying to Bartleby?
More trying to turn him around. Do you know, in the sense of if he's facing the campfire.
Yeah, because aren't you both laid down? Or
That's
not?
right.
Yeah.
So if this thing, I've looked over my shoulder, I can see this thing looking up into the sky. I'm going to get his head with my two hands, and I'm going to turn it gently
Snap.
Yes, all the way round. No,
Yeah.
Just to sort of give him the general turn around.
Yeah. And Bartleby, you look out in the darkness, and even you can see it now. There is a beast out there with these red eyes. Okay, so before we do anything else, I would like you to roll initiatives now, so we get some kind of order to what's happening. So just okay.
Sorry.
No, so I will add. I can. What is that? 21. Yeah. I've added you. Is the rest of you just give me 2 ticks, and I'll get rid of your tokens. Okay, yeah, so the rest of you can go now. So don't forget to click your tokens. Oh, we're going in order. We're going in order. Oh, Rohan. Oh, Cyrus and Rohan, what's your initiative bonus? What are you?
Initiative bonus is
Rohan goes
10.
And
11.
No, wait, that's why am I looking up? No, where's my initiative bonus? Why do I not know this? Oh no.
It's what initiative is. Go across the number on the right hand side.
he's 10. Yeah, because you could just hover over your initiative roll, and it'll say 1d10 plus it. So Rohan will go before, and I'm going to have to randomly make up a token to roll for it.
It's Muscle Pickles. We can kill that red-eyed beast.
Okay. There we go. Let me just change this round and give it its proper name now. So you can see it. It is actually called a dark stalker. And it's
not accurate.
It's coming in with a 5 over at this way, which is quite apt. So yeah, Hasra, you're good. So what you did beforehand, that was before initiative was rolled, etc. So you don't need to tell Bartleby anything like that. So you're at this point. You can see what's going to be your next action.
My next action will be to slowly turn my body round and get onto, with my spear in hand, and get halfway up, ready to sprint towards this thing.
Okay, yeah. So you're sort of like getting ready, spear in one hand, almost like a running start.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yes.
in order to hopefully head off towards it. Excellent. Rohan, you are currently blissfully unaware of anything.
Blissfully unaware, just
So
hanging out, poking the fire.
Yeah, so we pass yours and we come to you, Cyrus, Birdman, Owlman of Alcatraz.
I'm gonna believe I can fly.
I
To
believe
get
I can
attention.
fly.
Get his attention.
Sorry, what do you want
I
to
already have his attention. So essentially, what I want to do, I want it to kind of be distracted by me. So essentially, face away from the rest of the party. So I'm going to try to distract it because I know I have its attention.
Okay.
So I'm going to kind of like circle the air where.
So are you getting closer to it?
I'll get closer to it, but definitely not like close enough to where it can jump and attack me.
Yeah. Okay. Then. So you're staying out of its reach, but are you hooting at it or?
Yeah, hooting, the blowfish, and all of it.
But you're staying out of reach.
What I'm trying to do. I'm staying out of reach, but I want its back to face the party, so that way it doesn't see it coming. I want to distract him, like kind of circle around.
Okay, so
the con and all that.
Yeah, so at that distance, all you'll be doing is circling around and twitterooing at it.
Mhm.
But so you sort of like fly across and start circling around it, twitterooing. Rohan, at that point, you can make a perception check.
I sure do love perception checks. I'd like to use a point of luck to reverse that.
Yeah, okay. So you now know from the hooting of the owl the rough direction of where things are. And Bartleby, you're up next.
I would like to use a free action to say something loudly, and I'd also like to cast a spell. But I guess I'm wondering, how impacted is Bartleby laying on the ground for casting spells? Is this like it'd be rolling it hard and I need to get up?
Yeah, so basically when you cast any spell, it always has a component, an action, and verbal. It doesn't necessarily have a component. It does have, you must have at least one hand free and be able to see your target unless it's touch, and be able to utter some words as well. So you can probably fumble around and touch Hasra, if that's what you're casting it.
Oh no, I'm not trying to touch Hasra right now.
Right. It's just like before there was definitely some touching going on, I'm sure.
We got that out of the way. The miracle I want to cast is dismiss magic at this Darkstalker. But if it's more advantageous to stand up, then my goal would be to get up and use my free action first.
Yeah, okay then. So you can cast it from where you are. I have no worry about that. So you're probably in a crouched position like Hasra is at the moment, so not fully stood up. So yes, so you're going to cast Neutralize Magic.
Yeah, and for my free action, I just wanted to shout Rohan, because I have no idea if he actually understood the hooting. Anyways, here's Dismiss Magic, and here is my Exhort.
Nice. Yeah. Very, very nice indeed.
Nope.
And you fire how does your neutralize magic look like? Because I think beforehand, wasn't it like radiant moonshine coming down from...
I believe this one is actually my least showy miracle, because it's really just a dismissal of whatever was causing the magic to happen just simply it was not obeying the laws of reality, and Amriel has extinguished it.
And so what you feel, or what you feel rather than see, is that as you cast your 11 magnitude, your electric 11 intensity and intensity and magnitude at the beast, it seems to touch the beast, and you immediately feel a bit of resistance. And can you just make a willpower check for me?
Every day.
Yeah, and for a moment you glimpse at this very attractive woman who seems to be gowned in some kind of black feathered robe, and she has a very stylish raven feather headdress on. And as your magic hits the beast, you almost like see as if you're stood away from this lady, who immediately turns round and looks at you straight away. And at that point, she almost like bats you aside. She makes a batting aside action, and you
free action.
You sort of like get pushed back into reality. You don't pass unconscious. That's what your willpower roll was for. But you do almost like keel over to one side as you feel as if something pushed you back and away. And yeah, and you sort of like head down to one side. And at that moment, as you sort of like come away from that, the beast charges, and something very strange happens, because you are ready for this beast, and you can see its red eyes, because that's all you can see at the moment, charging towards you, and it's almost like ducking its head down, as if it's charging, and then for a moment it disappears. You can't see the red eyes at all. And then the next moment it appears straight, almost like as if it's erupted from the ground, but in thin air before you, and just comes straight at you with its mouth. You just call up my figure, my character sheet here. Yeah, so it has a lovely skill. What's your... Oh, no. Yeah, it's called Leaping Death. It's attack, and it launches at you. And for some, it almost like miscalculates, or perhaps even ducks to one side of your spear at that point, and snaps in thin air to one side, unless you wish to take another action point. And
this would be something that would surprise Hasra, and he's grateful that he didn't stand all the way up.
Yeah.
So yes,
very much so. Okay, so that's everybody done for round combat turn 1. So we're going back up to the top. We'll probably do this combat turn, and then or this round, try to finish the round, and then have a break. So yeah, Hasra, you are up.
And this thing is literally at my side now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So having this initial shock from when it appeared in front of me, having to refocus and then snap and move to one side, Hasra will just swipe his leg to one side to turn himself, and then thrust his spear into its side, hopefully.
Yeah.
Thrust it. Get in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
I want success, guys. What's going on here?
Ooh, a nice average.
It's how you use it, though.
Yeah. What I need to
that critical.
I need to deduct 11, don't I?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Got you. Okay. That is now deducted. Okay. So as you fire, thrust your spear in front of you, it seems to almost like phase in and out. So it will come up as its evade roll, but the beast has that ability, so it doesn't go prone or anything. It can technically evade at that. So, and this is with your minus 11 on. So I've put it on. Yeah, so as you sort of like thrust your spear at it, it sort of like phases, and you are sure that should have been a hit right down its left front flank, but you've pushed the spear out, and it almost as if it's moved slightly, and it's off to one side. Rohan, we're up to you.
Okay, so I've heard the hooting, and Bartleby was crying like a child.
Yeah, he shouted, "Rohan!"
It's probably like Rohan. Dismiss magic was like.
And so I know like the general direction now.
Yeah, you know roughly in the direction, but you don't know where they are.
All right.
And of course, you're by the fire, so remember, you don't have. You could spend this your action stepping away from the fire and looking into the darkness to try to get a better idea, or you can just head off out there. And hope for the
I'm
best.
gonna head off out there.
Okay. So what's your movement?
Which one? The walk, run, or sprint?
It's completely up to you, whichever one you want to use.
I guess I'll just run over there.
Okay then. So what you need? So what's your movement for that run?
18.
Yeah. Okay then. Can you please roll for me an athletics check? And this is going to be at formidable because you're running into darkness.
Ugh.
Are you leaving it? Or
I'm gonna
looking
leave it.
at Yeah.
No, I only got 1 point of luck left. So
Are you gonna
Okay.
make him trip?
So you head off into the darkness in what you assume is the right direction. Cyrus, you are in bird form high above. You can now see Bartleby seems to be spell casting, but really has no idea what's in front of him or what's behind him or next to him. You can see Hasra crouched down, almost like attacking this beast like a beast. You can also see Rohan running into the darkness.
All right. This is when I'm gonna swoop down now that the beast is distracted and not have a weird obsession over me. And I'm going to swoop down and I'm going to change back into my beautiful human self.
Okay. So I presume you're sort of like coming down and then landing somewhere near. Yeah. Okay. So
And then when I bust out, I'm going to bust out my nice glaive.
yeah. So once you land, or once you turn out of our owl form, you suddenly realize that the darkness is around you and you're quite, you can't see the light in front of you, the eyes in front of you, but you know somewhere where it is. But just to remember, if you go in fighting, then your weapon rolls will be harder to hit. Bartleby.
I would like to spend. Well, okay. My plan is that I'd like to grab my lantern off my backpack and then use ignite to light my lantern.
Okay, then. So we're going to casting the spell to take an action,
Correct.
and
It's
probably
folk magic.
Say again. Sorry.
It's folk magic. So that's correct.
Yeah, and getting your lantern out, it will take an action as well. So this pass, you get your lantern out, and then when you have another action point, because I think you only have 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see how I feel about spending a luck point.
Yeah. Okay. Then. So this, you're sort of like fumbling around to get your, you know where it is and what it feels like, and you're fumbling around on that. And yeah, that comes to me for my attack. So I still do have action points left, and you are nicely in front of the person. This has the -11 off already because I took it off from the one beforehand as well. So his skill is actually 88, but it'll come up as 77 because it's got minus the dice roll. Whoa! He'll have that. He'll have that.
And use a luck roll.
Do you have any action points left first? You should have.
Me, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was going to hit Bartleby.
No, it's hitting you.
Yeah, I'm not
Yes,
hasty.
yes, I do have action points left.
So if
I
you
lost
wish,
matchstick.
if you wish to parry this, you would have to successfully. It would have to be a crit higher than 2.
I can do that.
You did last time.
Can't you force a person to reroll?
I don't want to do
Yeah.
that though. It's dark
That's
and
true.
it's going to be fun. Let's
says.
do it.
That one. Get that one. Come on, get that one.
No, he doesn't want a 1.
Oh, he wants a 3? What? I don't understand.
Oh.
I think a
This
luck
is
point
very
might be
similar.
coming up now.
An endurance check?
Wait, why are you doing an
See, if I-
endurance check?
Yeah, I
Oh.
thought you were supposed to defend with your
Oh,
weapon.
for God's sake. Where did I go? Oh, do you know what? Yes, it's because it's right above my bloody weapon thing. Okay,
We
sorry.
don't want to know about your weapon thing at all.
Yay!
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
So, how big is your weapon? And
Oh,
Captain
dear.
Caveman, just shut up, Captain.
I believe that I am medium. I'm average.
Yeah. Okay then. So
Yeah,
the
my reach is long, but my size is average.
yeah. So as this beast arches its mouth open and clamps round somewhere around your head, you somehow manage to get the spear, the shaft of your spear, in its mouth, and it sort of like clamps down on it, and so it does sort of like 6 points of damage as it sort of like clamps down it. It doesn't. I'm not trying to damage your weapon at all. That's absolutely fine. But
No,
you,
no, but I'll put it down to 4 hit points.
no, you
There
don't.
we go.
But you definitely. I can't damage your weapon unless I use a special,
Oh, sorry.
because
Okay.
it's a special. But I wanted you to. You're quite familiar with animals, and this seems to be quite.
A big bite.
Yeah, and so, and I rolled less than half. One was, yeah, well, you can hover over
Yeah,
it.
1d8 plus 1d8. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
So
Oh my god.
the second
Sorry.
1d8 is my damage modifier.
Yes, I could feel the power. as it
Yeah.
wrestled that spear in my hands.
Yeah, very much so. Okay, then. So quickly, before we take the break, let's go top of the turn again. So this is turn 3. Hasra.
I do not.
Okay. Rohan, you are still blindly running into the darkness. What would you like to do? Are you just running until you stopping, or?
I'm gonna look around.
Okay, so just make a perception check. This is going to be easy because of the sound of combat.
Yay!
You could use a point of luck and reverse it to a 5.
Well, I passed easy. It says.
Oh yes, that's fine. Yeah, sorry. Do you have 3 actions? Just to.
3,
You have 3 actions, yeah.
3.
Yeah, 3. So you actually managed to catch where they are. Now, just to let you know, people, everybody knows roughly where everybody is. So I'm going to take off the dynamic lighting. But please remember, it's still dark. You're still fighting in the dark. So you can see them and move into combat range if you wish. Cyrus, you are now in human form. What would you like to do?
I'm going to cast.
You have 3 actions, don't you?
Well, yeah, I guess one of them might have been for changing back. I don't know. But I'm gonna cast Fireblade on my
Okay, so that's just a magic
Glaive.
point. Yeah, so folk magic. So just roll your folk magic spell. Yeah, so that takes off another magic point. You've now got Fireblade up. Bartleby, are you using luck to grab another action point?
I am not.
Okay, and then finally the Stalker has used up its action points. So we will take a break now, and then when we come back, we'll be on round 2, combat turn 1. So we will be back at 50. So 5 to the hour. Is that all right with everybody?
Sounds good.
Yep, brilliant.
Perfect.
Okay, 5 to the hour then. Okay, and we'll be back. I'll leave you with some music. See you all real soon. for the exciting finale. Okay. Right. We are back. I hope everybody's in the right position. So we left the party fighting this dark stalker, and we have done the first combat round, and we're into the second combat round. And Mr. Bartleby, one of the things that I needed to say to you is that I forgot you had Witch Sight up.
Yes.
So you can actually see this beast because it's actually completely glowing in magic. You don't think it's divine magic though. It seems to be glowing in shifting shades of red, going from deep maroon up to bright red, and it seems to be an unusual sort of magic. You've never seen this sort of magic before. Bartleby, because of your witch sight at the moment, you will be able to hit the beast normally. There would be just like a standard roll for you. Hasra, yours will be the same because it will just be standard because this thing is in your face. Okay. Yep. Cyrus and Rohan, yours will not be standard because it's dark, and the only thing until Bartleby gets his lantern out, which will be this.
Actually, I just.
Oh, you can see the you've got Fireblade, haven't you, on your thing? So you can, as you get close to it and start whacking it, then you'll be fine. Probably not. I think it only gives 1 meter. Is it just 1 meter light?
I think it's supposed to be a lantern glow.
It's folk.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
It's folk magic, isn't it? Let me just check, because therefore then we know. Now remember. So I was looking at fire arrow, which is not what you want. I cast on a mirror and bordered in darkness. Without the need to carry it inflicts. Yeah, it says that it's you don't need to carry a light, a light of any kind. So you will probably be able to see it, and because of that, Rohan, I will reduce your difficulty from formidable down to hard once Cyrus is into combat, and then when Bartleby, you finish getting your light out, then it will be everybody will be normal. Okay, so that's just what I wanted to say about the witch sight. So we're at the top of round 2. And we're starting straight away, Hasra, with you on 21.
Right. So my intention here is to slide my spear out of its mouth as it's in there in the same fluid movement. Again, I want to jab it towards this creature, but at the last moment, I want to move it to one side.
Nice.
And jab it where I think it's going to be.
Yeah, let's see how good you are. So you do head out towards it. You think it's dead on target. I've got the -11 on here. Yeah. But we both get standard rolls. It's not an opposed roll or anything like that. So you thought you had it right, but it's almost as if this dark stalker knew where you were going to put it, and it just slices into thin air again. No innuendos there intended, right? I'm not too sure what I said. Rohan, you are up into combat range now, if you wish. you can see there's fire coming from Cyrus's glaive, and you can see the beast roughly where it is. It seems to have it seems to be locked in heavy combat with Hasra at the moment.
All right. I want to go for attack with my chain.
Okay, yeah.
And it's at hard, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, that does hit. You flick out your chain, hoping to damage the beast. However, need to take that off. Don't you? You sort of like whack it out, and it seems to almost like you're probably aiming for back leg or front leg, and your chain whizzes out. It doesn't suddenly lift its leg up or anything like that. It seems to just swipe almost like where it wasn't. Cyrus, you are coming up into combat now. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna grab my long weapon and I'm going to come up from behind and slam down.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. Yes. Ooh, come on, do the thing I asked you to.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You strike out and hit it, and it quite deftly moves out of the way as your attack comes into it. Bartleby, this is, you light your lantern now, don't you?
Yep, this is my time to bring down Amriel's light into the battle.
Yeah.
And cheap fire trick.
Cheap fire trick. This, yeah, thank you. Brilliant. No problems at all. Lighting it, and so
glory to Amriel. And the visibility we have now.
Yeah, Rohan, you're now at standard, and everybody can see what's going on, and that comes to the end of combat turn 1 in the second round. So I've used up my action points dodging all your attacks. So Hasra, you are up first.
You can see the frustration on Hasra's face now as he's got his spear now in one hand and he's grabbed his totem, his jaguar tooth, and he's just willing this thing to happen, and he's going to thrust forward with a powerful right hand thrust.
Thrust it forward.
Thrusting it deep inside.
It would have been wonderful if it was an easy shot, but it's not. But you do some this time it seems to be shimmering out, and what it seems to happen, Hasra, is that as it shimmered out of Cyrus's blow, you catch it with your blow.
Yes.
And so so I need a hit location and damage.
Special is going to be
Impale.
No,
Come on.
I thought of impale.
Come on.
I'm going to go bleed.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So special bleed location is going to be
1d20.
11. With possibly a chest.
It's a front leg.
Oh, a front leg, and your damage you would like is going
please.
to be.
Remember, no armor.
+7. Is it +7? No armor.
No,
-7 armor. Yeah, that's -7.
It bypasses any armor that I have up to -7. 5 points damage. Thank you. Yeah, you catch it. It's still operational in that area.
Yep. I've got a slight smile on my face as I pull the spear back out.
I need to make an endurance check against your what was your 14?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's check. No. So at the start of each round, not turn round. So at start of round 3, then I will be 1 level of fatigue if this creature bleeds like a normal thing. Yeah. Okay then. So yeah, we're up to you, Rohan.
Make me happy, right? Come on,
I'm going to try my absolute best.
excite me.
I'm going to go for another attack with my chain.
Yeah. So this is just a standard roll now. Thanks to
Sick.
Bartleby.
Thank you, Bartleby. Actually, no. You don't get no.
Amriel.
No, he doesn't get thanks. He doesn't get thanks.
Yep. Okay, so I need a special, and then I need a hit location and damage.
So I choose a special and then do the hit location?
Yeah.
All right.
And then do damage.
Entangle.
Okay, yeah. Then I need to know where you entangled it. 2 is back leg, I think, or it might be a tail. Yeah, it's a hind leg. So do some damage, and then we'll put your entanglement.
So it's a 1d6 because I have bludgeon.
Yep. Ouch. Ooh, that hurt. Can I just say that Cyrus, your bypass armor is working. Okay, so it's not as if it's got no armor. Your 7 points is actually taking it through that.
That's right.
Okay, then. So on a leg, an entangled leg, therefore I can't move at the moment. But it's firmly round its leg. Okay, then. And Bartleby. Oh, no, sorry. Cyrus.
Yes. All right. Here we go. Going in with the attack. Let's do this. Let's make this sexy, everybody. Come on. Cross your fingers.
I don't know why Cyrus is
Hypothetically
very sexual in this
pressing.
battle.
Yeah, he's a battle dancer. He's a battle
Yeah.
dancer. He's twerking as he comes into combat. And Bartleby's doing light shows with the lantern.
Just twisting it.
Yeah.
I'd just be clapping.
Yeah, so you need a special hit location and damage.
I'm looking at specials right now. I'm just trying to see if I got any good ones.
You get impale.
Yeah, I'll do impale.
Okay then. So I need a hit location first.
Because I can't max damage unless I get a crit.
Unless you get a crit, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going for impale.
Couldn't you use a luck point to reverse to get a 2?
Could I?
You could have. Well, if you said straight away, I'm going to roll it too.
Yeah, no.
But now that we're on to, we got the special.
I didn't know we can make crits. All right. Get the special.
Well, you're just reversing it, and then your crit for that weapon. If you expand it, you can see what your crit rating is. Well, it's roughly yours would be what 7.
8?
Yeah, me at 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want hit location next.
18.
18. Nice. Yeah. Nice. That's actually on its head.
Yeah. Let's see if I can do it.
Okay, so you need 2 damage rolls, and we take the highest one.
All right. I need to add a 1d3 to these. Hold on. Let me just set that out.
Is that your damage modifier? Oh no, yeah. So just roll them both to start off with, and then we'll take the highest and then add 1d3 to it.
Okay, we'll do that. That's probably easiest. Luckily, I did this.
Well, let's fingers crossed. Oh! Okay, roll a 1d3. You could do 5. 3 to its head. Okay, then. Nice.
I envision Cyrus with his burning glaive going, hot.
Put Iron Hands on.
And Bartleby, you're on 15.
I would like to call down punishment.
Ooh. Cyrus, you've been a bad lad. You're going.
No, I'm not smacking him with a shock as much as he's dancing like
He
wants.
deserves it. Yeah.
This is punishing the beast in front of us.
Yeah.
Here's my folk magic.
Here's your folk magic. Yeah. That's
You
absolutely.
do have an evade.
Oh, thank you.
No, do you though? Because you
Yeah.
evaded
Have a
us three
very-
times.
No, because when you're resisting spells, it doesn't take an action.
Oh.
It doesn't take an action.
Okay. That's
But you do
interesting.
have to beat my 72, don't you? Oh.
Why did you have to say anything? Why did you have to say anything? That was...
I mean, because a 72, that's a pretty good roll.
You
The
shot
odds were
your
in
own
my
foot.
favor.
Oh, but you'll never get critical. Oh,
Yeah. And okay, I got no action points left, but I need to give you a bit of visual clues here to what's happening. So Hasra, you did your bleed, okay, and one thing that you notice is that there seems to be a bit of quite a lot of blood coming from this bleed. You just sort of like see it, and it's right up there in front of you, and you can sort of like see the blood coming out. And Cyrus and Rohan, you see that wherever your weapons have either hit or are attached and done damage, you see also that there's blood leaking out of this beast. And but the strange thing is that as it's losing blood, you swear blindly that it's getting smaller. And Bartleby, you notice that in your witch sight, the actual glow of it, that blood red glow, is actually being reduced as well as it starts to take damage. So we're coming back up to the top for people who've got three action points to do. Hasra, you're up at 31. 21, sorry. 31, as if.
yeah. Again, I'm going to thrust into this horrible beast with. Come on, has that gone?
Yeah, no, hasn't yet. I can't see it.
I'll do it again. Take the first one though.
That worked.
There we go.
85, yeah. That
Yep.
hits. So I need special hit location damage.
I'm going to shift location.
Yep.
So let's see where it goes. That's a 6.
So that's its hind quarters. So you can either go left hind leg, or you could come up to 4 quarters.
4 quarters, please.
Yeah, by all means, go for it. Do some damage.
Damage.
Smack that out.
Come on. Ooh, ouch.
3.
Ooh, that hurt.
Oh no.
Okay. Rohan. Now your chain is tangled round here. So what?
I'd
Go for
like
it.
to make my automatic trip opponent check.
Yeah, brilliant.
So that'll take my action, and I think there's special rules on quadrupeds or something like that for trip opponent.
Yes, there is. Just 1 second. Let me get the big rule book out. You're right. I think it's just like one. Everybody remember this, because it's going to come up again. Trip. The opponent must roll an opposed drawn roll, evade or acrobatic, quadruped opponents may substitute their athletic skills for evade. So I need to make either brawn, evade, or acrobats or athletics. So I don't have yeah, so I will go with my evade. Da, da, da. What was your
Original
your original roll?
tackle. 26.
26. So I'm higher on that opposed roll. So you'll still go for it.
Yep. Still got the leg.
Yeah, you
Right.
sort of like try to pull it, but it seems to be a little bit stronger than you think, as it resists slightly. Cyrus, you're up.
Going in for a different attack. Hopefully I hit him and it actually hurts him.
Yeah, go
So
for it.
We'll see. We'll see.
Come on, Cyrus, you can do this. Are you
Oh, I
human
am.
or are you a battle
You know what?
dancer? You looking it?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I just love to know what Cyrus is doing while he's doing this battle dancer routine. It's just
So you know how like
staying alive, staying
in
alive.
the background doing like random like where you where your legs are just like you know like somersaults and stuff.
You're just break
Yeah, when he's
dancing
just
on the
making
floor.
You dance on the floor, doing a whole bunch of crazy like flips, just making a big show of it for.
Are you using a point of
excitement,
luck?
That's the only thing. Yes, I am. I'm
Yeah,
using,
I thought you might do.
So I'm reversing it to 67.
Excellent. Yeah, so I need a special hit location and damage.
I'm going to do impale again.
Nice.
But I'll do in the 7.
It's its hindquarters that hasn't been hit yet. So 2. Oh, hang on.
It has been, yeah.
Oh, you've got the fun moments rather than attacking.
Yeah, you can't attack because you're impaled. So you have to roll your brawn roll to pull it out.
But you do damage when you pull it out.
Its head.
Yeah, half of what he did before. So he
Alright.
did 3 before, so it'll be
bet.
2. But if you yank it out, you must make a brawn roll. This is when Bartleby gives you, is it your strength spell that actually?
Yeah, sure would have been nice to have been kind to Bartleby, and maybe you'd be.
Yeah.
maybe if you had a little bit more faith.
I'm gonna fail this. I want to make sure because my brawn.
You'll probably get a success. That's why.
Welcome to my world.
Ooh, even if you reverse it, it won't succeed.
Oh, it's 1 point off, isn't it?
It is.
How about a reroll with your luck point?
Yeah.
Because you've not used your luck point, have you?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, might as well re-roll it. See what happens.
Yeah, go for it. Use
Come on,
it.
everyone, get the luck.
Come on.
Show me the luck. Come on.
With the luck of Amuriel.
Who's Emerald's like enemy? I'm going to ask for their help.
Yeah. And serves yourself right.
I just want to note, if you had my might spell, that would have made your first roll a success, barely. Because it would have given you a 14. Oh, no, wait, it wouldn't have. Never mind.
No.
But you could have reversed it.
Yeah. But unfortunately, putting your faith in another god or goddess against
Is there at least
Amriel.
a 1d3 fire damage to its head? Because it has a.
Yeah, I don't see why not. You can roll a 1d3. I'm quite happy.
There we
to
go.
take
That's
that.
something. Oh,
Toasty.
That was 92 hit points in his head.
Yeah. It's not actually his highest location. His forequarters are.
No.
Yay!
8 points. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Hey, that's still fine. Still finey. Bartleby, you're up.
I would
Shock
like
him.
to use a think moment, but it's not my turn because I don't have action points. It's on combat 3, yeah?
All right. Okay. Nice one. And Darkstalker hasn't got any combat points either. So we're going back up to the top of the round. This is combat round 2, turn 1, and no, it's not. Is it combat? It's turn.
No, it's turn 3.
3, yeah.
3, turn 1.
Yeah, thank you. Because I was just about to say, Bartleby, you definitely need to do a combat roll, fatigue roll, don't you?
Yes, but I have faith in my goddess to use 1 luck point to reverse
And
that.
and Rohan, do you need to make one?
Yep.
Okay, so roll your endurance. Oh, see, when it comes to the important bits, Rohan, you are there. Hasra.
Yes, seeing I'm making some headway here, again, I'm going to firmly plant my left foot down and thrust forward with my spear.
Yeah. Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Of course, he can
Finally evade.
evade. Hang on, I change evade because it's too high at the moment. Just to let you know, his rolls are now hard.
Oh, because he's impaled, isn't he? Yeah.
Well, no, actually, it's higher then, because he's impaled, but it also has the bleed effect on him.
And does the chain happen to?
It means he can't move.
Ah, right.
That's what.
Just can't move. If I got the chest or the head or the torso, it'd be
The arms.
one step higher. Also.
Yeah, exactly. So
maybe you can train him, and you'll be a good dog.
right, just let me see how this pans out. Okay then. So he has to make a formidable, which means he fails. So do your special hit location and damage. See if we can finish this beast off.
Yeah, special is going to be.
Oh, you know you want to impale. You know you want to.
No. I'll impale. Actually, yes.
Okay then. So
The location is going to be 18.
firmly in its head.
Nice. Yeah.
Awesome.
2 lots of damage for me.
2
please.
lots in its head. Oh, don't do this.
Ouch.
Oh,
Oh, but
yeah.
the second one does some meaty damage,
Yeah.
which actually takes its head down to negatives. And as you thrust it into the head, again with your increased vigor, yeah, it goes into its head, and you definitely feel your spear go almost like through the soft palate at the back of the throat, and you sort of like push it in, and as you ram it home, also the beast goes and it just dissolves into a pool of blood and parts.
and I bet they're oxen and cow parts and cow blood.
It's interesting you say that, because there's a bit of skull there and some bones and some bits of cloth that's probably some kind of garment, and just roll your Hasra, just roll your perception since you'll see it first. Yeah, and there seems to be a chain with a locket on it.
Oh no. I'll reach down and have a look.
But Bartleby, you have a like a first aid or medicine roll or anything like that?
I have the professional skill healing, which I think is sort of
yeah. Roll that. Yeah, you look over this body for these parts for a few minutes to make it an easy success, and these bones are not adult bones at all. they are definitely a youth, probably early, late teens. And you can see that this beast seems to have been made up of a child or a teenager. There's no remnants of the beast. There's no sort of like canine teeth, there's no fur, there's no nothing at all like that. It just seems to be like as if this sounds dreadful, but as if you put a human through a blender
And then made it into like a walking vicious blood blister.
Yeah. It definitely looks like, it seems that these body parts, this blood, etc., has been used to create this beast. Hasra, you pick up
From Jeffrey Dahmer's cookbook.
you pick up the locket. It seems to be a simple medallion or necklace. It actually has a leather thong round it, and then it has a piece of metal, and it looks like it doesn't look like it's expensive. It doesn't look like it's silver or gold. It looks like it's pewter or something like that. And you notice that it has an engraving on it of the letter P, but it's almost like, if I say like Viking runes, does that make sense? So it's like a straight line, and then
the triangle.
Yeah, there's no curves on it or anything.
It's not fancy. It's been chiseled on rather than.
Yeah, just almost like hammer, and then that's it. Yeah.
P for primrose.
Close.
Bye-bye, Stan.
Weren't we told these villagers had their children stolen from them and held hostage to get their compliance?
Correct.
Well, it's hard to keep their compliance if they find out that their children are just dying anyways.
Yes, but whose child? And if this is not your child and yours is still alive,
The scam.
We've learned a lot out here in the middle of the woods at night, and kind of wish it was a shapeshifter we were after, so we could have beaten them up and not killed a child's remains.
What kind of magic is this? This is terrible. It's an abomination.
Roll my passion for Order of the Phoenix to see if maybe I can have a general idea what kind of magic this is.
Could I, before he, like, to preempt that, could I describe like the colors of the red magic and note that it doesn't seem to me to be like divine magic or sorcery. It seems like something I've never seen before.
So both of you can roll an appropriate passion or something to do with your spell casting. Yeah. So your devotion or your vacation or whatever you have. That
Ooh, if I can do it on vacation instead, I'd rather do that. Yeah. All right, doing it. Press the button. Oh,
Yeah, it's definitely not sorcerer magic.
Instead of using my devotion, could I use history?
History won't give you any information about spell
Case,
casting.
I'd rather. I guess I was thinking like maybe if it's not something I've experienced, maybe it's something I've read about. But
maybe it's something in that book you've got.
So here's
why don't you have a look in your book?
Okay then. So both Cyrus and Bartleby, you actually engage with quite an educational discussion, and when you're both talking passionately about your magic but not actually competing against each other, you are able to fit together what you think, what magic this might be. And this magic has not been seen for centuries, and even when it was known about, it was shunned, and none of the order. There wasn't an order for this at all, and if the power came from a divine being, then it was never one of the established gods or goddesses. And you soon fit things together and decide that this reeks of blood magic, which is when things, spells, objects, anything, the magic is actually powered by blood sacrifices. So blood magic mages or sorcerers or whatever you want, they don't actually regain their magic points by sleeping. They regain their magic points in order to cast spells by making blood sacrifices. And when that happens, then the person or thing that is sacrificed becomes part of the spell. But then when the spell is banished and stopped and terminated, of course the spell reverts back to what it actually was or is. Just to let you know, there are various levels of blood magic. So killing a cat will give you some magic to cast, but not enough to do something like this. When creating beasts like this is definitely in the realms of human sacrificing.
So could they like stick a knife in their hand if they're desperate for magic?
No. Blood magic,
Not even
blood magic, you can only get it from another person or another being.
Another sacrifice.
By sacrifice.
They would be really upset if we were stabbing them rather than like, oh, look at all this magic you're giving me.
The creature, in order to gain the magic, the thing that they take it from has to be killed in the process. So if they sort of like cut their wrist and took that own magic, they would actually themselves die straight away.
On the plus side, the acolytes are easy to spot because you just see people in long robes and staffs carrying a bag of kittens.
Yeah.
Just drenched in blood because they're like, they can't afford all that dry cleaning.
It's you're not too sure whether or not, from what you've remembered from the visit from the acolytes, from the villagers, there was no mention of blood or anything like that at that point. It wasn't something that resonates with the villagers' stories at all. It's definitely something or someone that is quite powerful. And just because somebody mentioned it, I think Bartleby mentioned it, it could possibly be why they've taken innocence, from the village. You do, everybody, one person make a 1d100 roll. I mean, just one person, decide who's going to do it.
I shall do it.
Okay.
I vote for Max.
Okay.
Come on, Max, don't let us down. Don't let us down. Come on.
Get the number that we need, high or low.
Go for
We're gonna
99.
get 69. All right, we're gonna get 69. Never mind.
Okay.
We got 11.
11. If your insight if that roll of 11 would have been a success for your insight, then is that everybody? I would have thought.
That hits me.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's really smacks me around the jaw there.
Yeah. The other thing that you recognize about these, you remember that the acolytes only took children. They didn't take anybody else, And Cyrus and Bartleby, this links to your discussion, because the more pure of heart that the sacrifice is, the better
Powerful.
the better the returns on that. So you all sort of like start to put two to two together, and you suddenly wonder whether or not this is the same beast, or if the beast is being created every night.
Every day.
Night. Oh god.
And if which so,
Well, how many kids did it take?
you don't know. Nobody
Only a few
asked.
hundred.
If only this village produced like shittier kids.
Well,
Yeah.
If it's only 20 quid, if there's only 20 kids, that's only 3 weeks going to wait, isn't it, really?
Sorry, your kids are dead, but hey, you're good now.
Here's a locket.
Let's see if I can't remember what I was going to say. I was going to give you another piece of advice, but it's gone from my head. All together. Oh, that was it. You don't know whether or not this links to, somebody mentioned it before, links to the verse in the ballad. And because you tend to remember that had blood mentioned in it as well.
The blood beneath will churn and boil.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, these guys definitely seem to be churning beneath the soil.
Maybe.
Through blood, bone and sinew, flesh and hide. Oh no, that might be hers. You know, if I keep thinking about this, I might get obsessed
No,
again.
because the thing is, we said bone and sinew, flesh and hide. We've already had the cows slaughtered, haven't we? The livestock.
But that part is right after, within her hand, the blade will slide through bone and sinew, flesh and hide. So I think that's more talking about the
Killing her.
stabbage of her. Whereas, as the winds do howl and toil, the blood beneath will churn and boil. That seems more related to this situation, to me.
Mm.
Within her hand, the first bit is. Within her hand, the blade will slide. The other thing that I remember what the insight roll was for as well. You probably haven't seen the last of this beast, because if it is being summoned, as long as they've got sacrifices to do it, it's probably going to be back. And Bartleby,
Maybe 2 next time.
well, and Bartleby, you see the connection to the vision you saw as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's worth noting, everybody, that the Harpy Queen saw me, and she's not a big fan of just her magic.
Bartleby just drops this into conversation as you're walking back to Wingfire.
Yeah, by the way, guys, she saw me. She's angry, and yeah.
And you resisted the temptation.
Oh yeah, I was totally devoted.
So essentially, if we just stick around and keep waiting for them to, they'll probably send 2 next time, or kill a cuter kid, so that way it's like a stronger one.
Yeah, so we should get a good night's rest and meet up with Molly and try and go and find out what we can.
Or we kill that crab.
Well, that's what I'm. Okay, yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
What we could do is hang that necklace up in the town square,
That's
see
what I was
who
going to
comes
ask,
to
yeah.
find it, and then recruit them, because they've got nothing else to live for.
Unless they had more than one child.
Unless more than one child.
Should also maybe get like
26,
a
they can
barrel
only pee.
Are you going to investigate the
Definitely, yes. We want to find out who
Okay.
is the.
So you head back, via Bartleby's light of his lantern. You have a rather sullen walk back to Windvine
Mm.
as you suddenly start to feel that, as Rohan might have alluded to, this might be slightly out of your capacity as a party to influence. And you really do think what's going to give you the tipping edge here is that verse and the weapon. And if Bartleby could really understand that verse to actually unpick what it means, then maybe it could give you the edge once you've got through the acolytes, etc., etc. So
Wait, inwils.
Yeah.
Is there something I could have done, or have we already moved past it? Is there something I could have done before we left the murder site of the beast we just killed?
yeah, I'm quite happy for you to do something before you
I want
leave.
to cast a miracle before we go.
Put you back together.
And that miracle
So
is...
he's going to turn it into a golem.
Yeah, I'm being
Hey,
lame. I
Mom!
want to see if I can put this soul to rest.
Yeah.
And
This is our golem, little Timmy.
You could take minutes, don't worry. Everybody, is everybody coming around and actually? Well, actually, it fails no matter what, because the roll of 96 to 100 fails in any case. So can you see on easy?
yeah.
So
Luck.
yeah, you could luck it. If
Yeah,
you,
I think I will. I think this is important to look at. That's my
Yes.
last point of luck.
Yes.
yeah. Oh, sorry. My roll 20 has just crashed on me.
So I've just got a crit.
It's coming back.
I figured I'd just reverse it, get an 89.
Yeah, that's absolutely that's not a problem at all. So, yeah, you all is everybody attending this?
Yeah, I will definitely.
Cyrus
Walk
to see
in the dark.
Bartleby kneeling down at the remains and then shouts, "Bartleby, stop messing around with the children's remains, please. It's very,
I had to
very
use a point of luck to ignore him.
Yeah, Rohan, are you hanging around or?
I'm just gonna just stare down at what Bartleby's doing
Yeah.
and just watch.
So Bartleby exercises his, exalts his miracle to lay the poor child to rest, and prevents the child getting really angry and following you for forever. And
Or haunting this town. We're
yeah,
to build a church.
yeah, or haunting you, or Hasra because he killed her. So you lay them to the remains to rest, and then make your way back into the town. Rohan, Cyrus, and Bartleby, can you each roll a 1d3, please?
A 1d3. Oh yay!
Finally take 1 damage from the slingshot.
So Bartleby, once everybody gets back to the inn, you can, head off to your beds to sleep. However, it's almost sunrise, so you don't actually get that full rest at all. So Bartleby, you will get 1 magic point back. Rohan, you will get 2 back, but I think you've only used...
I only used 1.
Yeah, so you get that back. And Cyrus, you just get 1 back as well. And Bartleby, you don't have time, because it's way after midnight now, to transfer any of your magic pool to your devotion pool. So if that's empty at the moment, it'll be
I'm
empty.
at 5 of 7 on my devotional.
Yeah, it'll be out until next time. Okay, obviously you get up for breakfast, etc., and Hasra, you have this necklace. What would you like to do with that?
I will walk up to the innkeeper
Called Darth.
called Darth. Hello, Darth, my friend. We were out late last night and we came across a terrible body, or what remains of a body, out in the wilderness.
A body?
Yes, but well, I'm assuming it was a body. It was just blood and bones. But we found this necklace.
Was it the
locket.
beast? Was it the beast from that came here shortly after you had left beforehand?
I think it might have been, but I think it will not. That well, it might have been. I do not know.
Did you say you were showing him the pendant?
Yes, I'm going to show him the locket. Yeah, the pendant.
And he looks quite. He loses all color from his face, and you even notice that his eyes start to well up with tears. And he said, he sort of like stutters a bit and says, "Was this on the body that died?"
I'll reach out my arm on his shoulder and say, "Sadly, my friend, it was."
And he looks very sorrowful, and he calls for his wife, who he actually just calls wifey, and she sort of like sees it and looks at you and sort of like says, where did you get that from?
You see Hasra, he's looking at her and he's a little bit lost for words.
Yeah.
I'll try and make it,
Yeah.
I have explained to your husband, but
And
to Darth.
As you sort of like stumbled trying to think of, the correct words, which is never easy for Hasra, Darth turns around to wifey and just says, "It's our penny." And she lets out a howl or a scream as emotion overcomes her, and she actually falls down on the floor and continues to howl. And he turns to you, Hasra. Darth turns to you and says, Was it quick and painless?"
It looked like it was, yes.
Just roll your deception.
No. It's like when you go to your child and say, "Oh, isn't it lovely?"
Yeah.
I don't have to roll deception.
You do. Yeah.
There was a time where the two things are poking out of its head.
No. Do you know what? I'm going to use a point of luck and re-roll that.
Go for it. Darth in the chat says, "Thanks, Hasra." It's so close. Well, you managed to get some of it suitable. And Darth sort of like looks a bit upset at some points, but then a little bit reassured. And Hasra, you may almost like make a mental note that probably next time Bartleby might be a little bit more suited to this. And he sort of like, Darth gets down and lifts his wife back up onto the feet, and Darth looks around at you all and sort of like says, "I'm sorry, we just need to, we just need to," and that's all he gets out as he goes.
Darth, take a drink on the house.
Yeah. I'll pay you for your day. And they go off, and you notice that you do get some people overheard it, and you do get questions like, "Were there any other bodies outside? Have you seen our Lucy?" And they sort of like quiz you all about, have you seen anybody else? What was the beast like? Yeah, go for it.
I'd like to ask just the one most important question. How many children were taken from here?
They sort of like look round and they start to say, "Well, Lucy was taken, and there was Abigail from over there, and Kate, old Ma Rocket's daughter," and you figured there's about 6 to 8. But something else dawns on you, is that all the names that they seem to be talking about were girls.
Oh. So no boys were taken?
No,
No.
Oh.
none at
Just
all.
all girls.
Once again,
Well, it's
it'd be
fine.
great to be a guy.
Sorry.
Cyrus is so callous. I just
The future bluebirds have gone.
yeah. Would it be funny if the Harpy Queen turns out to be Melanie?
Yes.
or Melanie's one of the advisors.
Yeah, so you managed to get some sleep, but only a little. And you sort of like get up the next day and you talk to the villagers, and they seem to almost like they ask you all as a party if you're going to rescue their children. And they seem to look at you, Bartleby, with your acolytes, Sam and Decker, by your side. They recognize that you're a man of the church, and sort of like come up to you and sort of like say, you will protect our children, you will bring them back, won't you?
Our goal is to save everybody that we can.
Unlucky for Penny, though. Do you think they're still alive?
There's entirely a chance that they are, and I think that Amriel will guide us towards saving all that are still alive. I have confidence that we'll bring good news.
Roll your oratory skill.
Oratory.
It should be a politician.
Or wait to the roll first.
Guess who doesn't have any luck points?
And he was sort of like saying about Amriel in the light, and somebody.
Oh, I tell you what. Why don't you?
Yes.
Why don't you use one of the group ones?
And I will, to reverse that to an 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want to feel the presence and the power of Amriel wash
Oh,
up.
can you say just say that I had a wonderful reply. I was going to say, but your goddess didn't help Penny, didn't it? And really sort of like we would have a rebellion on our hands. But
I'd like to pivot, actually, because I said Amriel, and that luck point, I think, is then gesturing to my allies and saying, we have a powerful sorcerer and a master of arms, and we have the man of many inconveniences and disasters.
Yeah, why?
This sounds unlucky.
Why are you talking about Cyrus twice? I don't.
A man with many personalities.
And they sort of like you're with an 18, you're really rallying them behind this cause, and somebody shouts out, "Let's all cheer the Fantastic Four!" And somebody goes, "Yeah, heroes of the day! They will protect us! They hurrah for the Fantastic Four!" And they seem to be they're a little bit short of lifting you up onto somebody's shoulder, and they're also like patting you. And somebody says, "They'll bring all our children back alive. They won't let anybody else die. We know, therefore, they're going to be super kind and supportive. Go for it." And they seem to be really rallying round you. And even Sam and Decker sort of like grow a couple of inches, in proudness. What? And then they all sort of like congratulate you and say well done, etc. You definitely seem, Bartleby, to have the population of Windvine behind you, and yeah, go
I'm
for
really
it.
excited then, Bartleby.
Hasra's going to lean over to Bartleby and he's going to whisper in Bartleby's ear, "Maybe you could persuade them to come help us kill a crab."
Not much room on the boat, I don't think.
And just at that point, you notice that somebody joins in the discussion, and you notice it's Molly Squaresail, and she shouts out, "And they're going to rid us of Death Pincer!" And they all look at you and say, the sandbank will be safe again. And they all start cheering again and rallying around you. And so it's like, killers of Death Pincer and savior of our children. Oh, we are so blessed to have you in Windvine. We thank you all. And some of them, Bartleby says, when will be your next service for Amria? We would like to join your church and become followers.
Yes.
Damn, very
Yes.
persuasive. You bring people when they're at the lowest, and wow, that's great what you can be able to do.
Once we've casually done our side mission of killing this crab monster and then saving the children, we'll get regular services going.
They are really, really pleased and excited, and the whole town seems to be rejoicing with their newfound protectors and saviors for their children. And that seems to be, I know it's only 4 minutes early, but it seems to be a good place to stop it tonight, in preparation for the next one, when you will be, unless you change your mind, sidetrack. But if not, are we bound for Death Pincer next time? Is that the plan?
Mining adventure. Mining adventure.
No mining.
Oh, let's go
Not
kill
mining.
some more kids. I mean, dogs.
So we are going to kill Death Pincer next
we
time.
need to
Oh,
do
absolutely.
Death
Yeah.
Pincer.
I'll bring my barrel of
We
butter
already
with
have
me.
the explosives with Cyrus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
That's just my
Mining
temper.
adventure.
Hey.
Reason why I call you the Master of Disaster.
And also remember that you can, if you want, Bartleby, have another go at the ballad at some point if you want to be consumed by that. Just
Figuratively and
To
literally.
me, I can help out.
just before we
You can
finish,
help out at any time.
you could, yeah.
Yeah, it's entirely, we each have to go about it ourselves until somebody solves it.
Yes. Just out of interest, do you want to go in this day to Death Pincer? Or is it the idea that you will get some proper rest? So you won't go to, because it's morning now. So you're
That's
not
right,
going to
yeah.
go today. You're going to leave the rest of the day. You can do things in that time next week if you want to, but then have a proper night's sleep, or are you
Yep.
going to go straight away?
No, a proper night's sleep. Leave at first light.
I don't want us all to die.
Okay.
I prefer to survive.
And can I just say, a lot of your spells did save you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, things like that bypass armor. What was a godsend, you know. And luckily, even if I had done, 2d8s and got like 10, 4 to 10, that still would have,
Saved it a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
because that damage resist would have taken it off before it hit your Hasra.
It's nice being handy, isn't that right,
It's
Mr.
very-
Pickles?
I think it's nice to be prepared.
Mm.
I think that's the key to it.
Rather than doing it on the fly in combat, which then takes so much longer.
Yeah, and requires a lot of touchy-feely or
yeah.
more shaping points, etc. Yeah. Brilliant. It was nice to see Rohan's chain come into action as he wrapped it around the dog's leg, which was very good, prevented it running away. And yeah, a really good adventure. You seem to have made real friends of people in Windvine, and they certainly have very high expectations of you.
Way to go, Bartleby.
Which is why we won't be here in the morning.
Yeah. Let's hope you can fulfill them and actually come back from the adventure. So next week, or the next time we play Off to Death Pincer, remember you're going on Molly's Square Sail's boat, and she's going to take you out there. And remember, you can have a chat about it. If you remember, you can only get to the sandbank at low tide. That's where the chests, etc., are revealed. And you're going there to see if you can find a map. And just out of interest, Darth has just put in the chat, he says, but pints are on the house next adventure because he is now the tavern owner of the Green Dragon. Yeah. So we'll pick it up there next time. Well done for killing a Death Stalker. And well done for figuring out that there's some weird magic that appears to be very deadly and very nasty at work here. Yeah, and do remember, Bartleby, what happened to your neutralized magic, because that is important. It's a very important clue. So it's down to you to figure it out now. Thank you to everybody in chat who came along and supported us tonight. I really do appreciate that. Medivac, you're back playing, aren't you?
We are, but sadly, we're back. We're back this Thursday, just gone.
Yeah.
But we're missing this week, and we're back in a week's time. We're missing the 8th, but back on the.
Well, you could do the maths. 15th, yeah, it will be.
Yes.
And that's on Medivac the Healing Hoover on Twitch. Does anybody else have any games that they're streaming? The rest of you? No.
I have Call of Cthulhu on Monday.
Oh yes, yeah.
It starts back up again.
Is that at 7?
Well, 7:15, yes.
What? Oh yeah. 7:15. Why?
We're European.
Yeah, 7:15. So you can have both Call of Cthulhu and D&D 5th edition over on Medivac's channel on Monday.
And on Saturdays, actually, I'm part of a streaming. We played Mythras, and I think it's about 11 a.m. over here. I don't know what time you guys would be.
It might be about 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if you guys are interested,
do you want to know something? You know, when you started that, I was just, I felt like saying, well, what's wrong with my campaign? Why have you started why have you started another Mythras? And I thought, because I know it's early for you, is it 11? Yeah. And I thought you sort of like after you finished this, Bartleby was taking you off and you were playing Mythras in another group or something like that.
Bartleby is the GM.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Well, I will be back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock with some better Minecraft, and then in the afternoon with some Elder Scrolls Online. So if you've got nothing else to do, come in and support that. Until then, make sure you stay safe and stay healthy, but most of all, stay positive. And it's goodbye for me, goodbye, and it's goodbye from them.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Take me with you.